All I'm saying is I'm not gonna order a chicken salad at a sushi bar. Hi guys, I'm Abdullah and today we are looking at two fan favorite field watches, Seiko and Hamilton. The watches we'll be looking at are the Seiko 5 SNK809 and the Hamilton Khaki Field Mechanical. One of these watches cost only about $100 while the other one costs around $500 at retail. Both are mechanical watches, have similar design aesthetics and basically serve the same function. Today we're going to compare both of these watches and just see which one offers the better value for money in terms of not only the design but also comfort, functionality, and overall build quality. So let's find out. Even though both these watches serve the same function of being field watches, there are some major differences between them. This is not true only in terms of what brand they come from, but also from design, quality, and heritage perspective. The Seiko comes with a heavier 37mm diameter stainless steel case with a mixture of matte and polished finishing on the case, matte being on the upper side and polished being at the lower end, which seems more than anything else a cost-cutting measure. The watch sits rather small with a lug-to-lug of 43mm, lug width of 18mm, and a thickness of 11mm. You have Seiko's very own hardlex crystal, which is more durable than a mineral crystal that you find on most entry-level watches, but not as durable or scratch resistant as sapphire. On the Hamilton, you have a lighter 38mm diameter full titanium case with matte finish throughout the case. 47mm lug-to-lug, lug width of 20mm, and a case thickness of only 9.5mm, with a sapphire crystal covering the dial. Both of these watches serve a different purpose in a sense which is heavily reflected on their dials. With the Seiko and its plain matte black dial, the emphasis seems to be more on the seconds, which is aided by the red tip on the seconds hand. But having no hacking feature, it's more of a visual feature than a practical one. Because again, without the hacking function, the seconds hand doesn't stop moving when you're trying to adjust the times. The Hamilton's softer textured dial is a bit more interesting in my opinion, with the Fotina indices and handset, and the watch being all about legibility, with the dial displaying both the 12 and 24-hour format, which is super easy to read at a quick glance. The Seiko has a tiny crown at 4 o'clock, and while it does feel solid to operate, it's not easy to pull out, which makes the whole experience a bit cumbersome. But on the flip side, the crown definitely won't dig into your wrist if that's an issue that you face. The Hamilton offers a more practically sized crown, which makes it not only easy but enjoyable to operate. The Seiko comes with its 7S26 in-house automatic movement with a 40 hours of power reserve. It's not a decorated movement, but rather focuses on being an affordable yet reliable workhorse movement. As for the Hamilton, the ETA base movement has been modified to reduce the beat frequency to 21,600 bph, which has in turn increased the power reserve to 80 hours instead of the typical 40 hours that you would normally get with this ETA base movement. You can't really see it with the closed case back, but this being a Swiss-made movement from ETA, you are definitely getting a much more well-made movement with better materials, better finishing, and is just incomparable to the Seiko 5's 7S26 entry-level movement. The Hamilton comes on this super comfortable canvas strap, but you can also choose between a metal bracelet or a leather NATO strap. As for the Seiko, I immediately changed the strap to this leather NATO strap because I could not stand the scratchy, uncomfortable, cheaply made canvas strap. But most of you already know, Seiko has a reputation of not building the best bracelets and straps, especially for their entry-level models. When it comes to servicing the movement, Price of the watch has to be taken into consideration to decide the overall long-term value proposition. Servicing the Seiko 5 might cost as much as the watch, but it will be far cheaper to service the Hamilton considering its retail price. So in the long run, you might end up treating the Seiko 5 more as a fashion watch than as a lifelong piece, unless you're willing to pay for the service, which might happen in the case where the watch offers some sentimental value. When looking at the pros and cons of both of these watches, Seiko, in my opinion, defeats the purpose of this watch, especially in terms of its function. The crown is too small and there's no hacking. It comes with 30 meters of water resistance, which again, in terms of its functionality, kind of defeats the purpose of being a field watch, whereas the Hamilton comes with at least 50 meters of water resistance. So again, it's a bit more water resistant, but I personally would have liked the watch to have at least 100 meters. So it just adds more ruggedness to the watch. Seiko was always known to push the boundaries of their watchmaking in terms of technology, accuracy, and craftsmanship, with focus on innovation in terms of movements in the race of high accuracy with quartz and spring drive. It was only after the 70s when Seiko started exploring the rugged tool watch design, with mostly focusing on dive style watches. But they were historically never known for their field or Flieger style military watch. And this is why, apart from their obvious design aesthetics, the SNK doesn't really feel like a military watch, especially when it comes to functionality. It's not as minimal, rugged, legible, light, functional in terms of hacking, and definitely doesn't carry the same military heritage of the original field watch. Does it mean that Seiko is no good? No. It just means that they have a history and expertise in one area, whereas the Hamilton has expertise in a different area. All I'm saying is I'm not going to order a chicken salad at a sushi bar. Thanks for watching, guys. Do help me out by reaching 1,000 subscribers by hitting that subscribe button, hitting the like and the notification bell. And I'll see you guys in the next one.